Getting a patient home is probably one of the most important parts of their care.
Personally, if I was admitted into hospital, the first place I'd want to be is home.
Unfortunately, some people do really need to come into hospital.
Once the medical team has finished their involvement with a patient, it's not necessarily the end of their recovery journey, and that recovery journey needs to happen at home.
So they're not deconditioned in a lengthy stay and making them a complex discharge.
This can have benefits to their quality of life, just to enable them to get back to doing all those things that they used to do prior to being admitted.
People thrive in their own homes. They eat better, they sleep better.
Their mental health improves significantly, they have their family around them, they can start to undertake activities of daily living themselves. We do that in an integrated, seamless way, so that all of the teams work together very closely in Cardiff and the Vale, and to make sure that the services are delivered rapidly, appropriately, and actually meet the needs of the individual.
So the first thing we do with anybody admitted into hospital is go and review the patient, get an understanding of how they were at home, speak to their family, engage with as much people as possible to ensure that we can get them home. I work as part of a team, which is what's great about the Integrated Discharge Service.
Within the hospital, we have a system that we call a board round. And during that board round, each patient is discussed, and the aim of the board round is to ask 3 questions. Can they go home? When can they go home? And how do we manage to get them home safely? The nurse, doctor, therapist will speak with colleagues from our Pink Army.
The Pink Army is essentially the bridge between the patient and everything else. We start with something called a What Matters conversation, where we get to sit down for as long as the patient needs to basically get them to express what matters to them. And through that conversation, we can work on making a to-do list of who do we need to talk to, what teams do we need to refer to. These are the things that the patient has identified, what matters to them.
The discharge support officers work as part of the Integrated Discharge Service, and if they identify a Vale patient, then they will refer them into us for us to have the conversation with the patient about what matters to them.
My role is to support patients and be an advocate for them and their families. We can be their voice and what they need and what they want. We can offer a shopping service, a nail cutting service, a befriending service, and there's also a welfare rights service that we also offer in the community.
We work with our ward teams, occupational therapists, physios.
Very often that would be via the single point of access service. Colleagues from occupational therapy, physiotherapy, all of the community services and services actually put in place in readiness for that individual to return home.
And sometimes we don't need to keep people in hospital for that rehabilitation. It is having the community resource team in the community to support that ongoing rehabilitation.
The patient will be visited at home on the day of the hospital discharge, either by a home care manager or a therapist, and we'll discuss what matters with the patient, setting their occupational goals. So we'd be looking for a patient to actually do as much as they can for themselves.
We can help patients with a variety of things. One of the main things we look at is mobility, so whether that's trying a mobility aid, looking at stairs, how patients walk around their own home, whether they need any more support, whether that's a walking stick or crutches.
Tasks such as washing and dressing, meal preparation.
Often if someone has had a fall and it really knocks their confidence, and we can help try and build their confidence again and try and reduce that fear of falling.
And looking what care needs are required to help them remain at home.
You can help patients thrive in their own environment and rehabilitate them to get back to being as independent as possible.
It's really rewarding to know that they're going home with what they want, not what people have expressed to them that they feel would benefit them.
This project is about getting people back to where they really belong, maintaining their independence and making sure that we wrap services around them so that they can actually achieve the goals and they can actually achieve what matters to them and maintain their lives within the community.
Because there's something about being at home and their family are able to come and see them and they're able to just be around familiar surroundings that just mean that people just get to thrive again. I think it's probably one of the most important parts.